Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. If you're looking for a cozy cabin for two in the Gatlinburg area, go through the pros. Parkside Cabin Rentals. Nobody has a better selection of cabins in the Sevier County area than Parkside Cabin Rentals, and that goes for if you're looking for a place to have dozens of friends. If you're thinking you're going to have a huge group together or you have a business that you need to get together, Parkside Cabin Rentals have all kinds of options for you. Give them a shout. Check out their website this week, and whenever you go into downtown Gatlinburg from your cabin, you get free parking. Parkside Cabin Rentals. All right, I want to welcome in the next two members of our panel right here from WNML. He covers recruiting over there and does radio every day from noon to 3. Josh Ward, and right here from GoVols 20. I get that right? Did I say 24/7? I mean 3 to noon to 3. Yeah, my head's somewhere else.
Highly recommended.
It's a great show. And right there, Ryan Callahan from GoVols 24/7. You cover recruiting there, and I can't say new father because you've been a father, but you're a father all over again. Congratulations, twins this week.
Thank you very much.
And the names?
We'll keep those to ourselves.
Very good. Very good. I knew I was going to go too far. Congratulations. All right. Let's take a look at some of the recruits that are still on the board for Tennessee. Signing day is on Wednesday. There's still some big names out there. We'll go through these one at a time. Zach Evans is kind of the top dog that everybody's after. Ryan and Josh, what are your thoughts on Josh Evans and what the deal is with him?
Just a wild recruitment, and I had you put question marks on this one when you asked me about it because, honestly, we don't know, A, what's going to happen this week. Will he even make a commitment because he cannot sign another letter of intent? He's already done that with Georgia, so he can't make a binding decision.
And then he and Georgia split.
Yeah, he and Georgia split, so that Georgia's taking another running back. They're done. So the question is, does he take another visit? If he does, it doesn't look like he did at this point. It would have to be after the February dead period. So this one could go into the spring, or he could announce a decision on Wednesday. And if he does, it looks like Tennessee and Ole Miss are the two most likely, but Texas A&M has thought they're in it. There's still other teams in the mix here. So Tennessee's got as good a chance as anyone, but all bets are off, honestly.
Yeah, I need more info on those question marks because in the last week or two, you could have put Georgia there still even after he was released because Georgia looked like it was maybe back in it, could be the favorite. As Ryan mentioned, they got another running back. So if I had to make a prediction for this week, I would hold off because I don't even know if he's going to do anything this week. And, of course, the Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Bryce Brown history factor, you think about somebody who could wait. Tennessee benefited from that with Lane. Now you might have to battle Lane for that type player.
All right, very good. Let's move on to the next one. MALACHI WIDEMAN, receiver from Venice, Florida. 4-star. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida State, Oregon after him. Gentlemen.
He's been committed to Florida State for almost 9 months now, and so they're still the team you've got to beat. But this one's gotten more interesting. Tennessee and Oregon hosted him the last 2 weekends. Both feel good. He's at Ole Miss this weekend. I think Tennessee has a real shot here. I don't know that I would call them the outright favorites, but if there's a real surprise Tennessee could get on signing day, I think this might be the best possibility out there.
Yeah, I think Tennessee pitching, hey, we need another playmaker to come in. We have questions at wide receiver. There's opportunity. You have to compete. Obviously, you're going to hear that anywhere. But I think Tennessee has a really good chance to, I don't know if you say steal him away, but that's kind of the case with a new coach at Florida State.
And as we run through these, it's kind of clear that the wide receiver area is still what they're targeting for one more guy. Yeah. Let's take a look at the next name on the list, D. BECKWITH, athlete from Florence, Alabama. Is that DeMarcus?
Yeah, D. DeMarcus. Mm-hmm. 3-star. He is a 4-star in 24/7 sports ratings, but that's the 3-star composite rating. That's
I've got your composites.
Yeah. But still a guy Tennessee's been after for a while. Looks like it's Tennessee and Florida here at the end. Kentucky was in it at one point, but didn't get a visit here down the stretch. Didn't visit anywhere this weekend. Has a busy basketball schedule. He's said for months Florida's the leader. I don't necessarily take that at face value. I think Tennessee's in good shape here. His brother or half-brother Cameron BECKWITH committed to Tennessee as a preferred walk-on. Tennessee closer to home too. I would say Tennessee is the favorite right now going into this one, but obviously he won't announce a decision until sometime this week.
Yeah, I would say Tennessee probably the favorite. Maybe it's like a 55-45, somewhere in that range going in, but because of maybe a little more comfort or familiarity. It again goes to Tennessee's need. You lose 2 receivers in Jennings and Callaway, as well as Donwood Anderson, a guy that's a part of the passing game. BECKWITH, his ability to play multiple positions, line up in different spots, would be a big benefit to Tennessee.
All right, up next, GER-CARI, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
GER-CARI Caldwell, receiver from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And the composite rating, 3-star there.
Yes, that is correct. A guy whose stock has risen quite a bit, though. He was committed to East Carolina back in the fall, and now you've got an SEC battle for him. So Tennessee hosted him last weekend. You know, there was some optimism there, but realistically, he's been to South Carolina a handful of times, and he's there this weekend. He was there on an unofficial visit a couple weekends ago. Home state school looks like the favorite here, but Tennessee's still battling.
I would predict South Carolina, and we've probably gone in order of Tennessee's priority as well in a number of ways. So if it can work out with the other guys we've already discussed, and Caldwell ends up at South Carolina, it's still a win for South Carolina. They get a guy in state that they like, and Tennessee could still get other players. But I would say Wideman and Beckwith higher priorities for Tennessee.
Okay, last one up here. Ladd McConkey. I'm just thinking of the movie Lost Boys with Laddie.
Yeah.
Okay, wide receiver, Chatsworth, Georgia.
Now, this one's interesting because Tennessee hasn't offered yet, but if things go wrong with a couple of the guys we've already mentioned here before, he could get a late offer and it could be a big deal. He grew up a Tennessee fan and his family is full of Tennessee fans. He's at Georgia this weekend on an official visit. Looks like Georgia or Vanderbilt would take him right now. So, interesting one down the stretch to keep an eye on. I don't think he ends up at Tennessee in all likelihood, but if things go sideways with a couple of those guys we mentioned before, Tennessee, a late offer could change things.
Yeah, interesting. A guy that could be is a fallback guy probably for Tennessee in terms of do you offer. Georgia's in play. Georgia and Vanderbilt typically aren't battling right for the same type player. Not going to happen a lot, but that would come back to what happens with those other guys we already discussed. And if Tennessee does offer, they would have a really good shot.
Best case scenario in terms of let's not just do this best case scenario. Best likely scenario.
I think Malachi Wideman and D. Beckwith probably would be the most likely good scenario for Tennessee this week. And just because we don't know what Zach Evans is even going to do, hard to even count him in right now.
I would say the same because even if Evans makes an announcement, it could end things, but it doesn't necessarily end things.
Is he going to sign because he's already signed with Georgia, he can't sign another letter of intent. It would just have to be a
So one thing he can do,
financial aid statement, wouldn't it?
Right, which wouldn't be binding in any way, but he can sign SEC paperwork, I'm told, which would prevent him from signing with another SEC school if Tennessee or Ole Miss or someone like that landed him. So wouldn't keep him from going somewhere out west or an ACC school, but would at least protect him against other SEC teams.
Those question marks come back into play.
Yes.
Tennessee going down to the wire on Evans and Wideman versus Lane Kiffin. Fun. All right, when we come back, Tennessee has a former player coming home to the coaching staff. Again, he's returning. And we'll talk about all the staff moves, a couple of guys operating over there with expired contracts. That's next on The Sports Source.
Thanks for choosing us to entertain,
complete with tension and biting humor,
and inform you. This is The Sports Source.